The Australian Greens, a left-wing environmental party, though some argue its focus has significantly broadened beyond solely environmental issues, was formed in 1992 as a confederation of various state and territory-based Green parties. Key founders included Bob Brown, a prominent environmental activist from Tasmania, who became the first leader of the Australian Greens, Christine Milne, who went on to become leader after Bob Brown, and Drew Hutton, who co-founded the Queensland Greens and was instrumental in the creation of the National Party. Despite his lifelong commitment to environmental protection, social justice and grassroots democratic principles, Mr Hutton was recently booted from the Greens. Not because he broke the law or anything like that, but because he allowed comments on a Facebook post and refused to delete them. Apparently, freedom of speech is not allowed over at the Greens. Recent headlines include The Guardian. Drew Hutton says Greens have lost their way after party votes to expel co-founder. News.com.au. Trans cult. Greens implode. Founder expelled. And The Australian. Greens now an authoritarian cult. Party co-founder expelled for speaking out on trans rights. There were two main reasons for Mr Hutton's expulsion. First, his refusal to comply with party directives to censor comments on his personal social media that were deemed harmful or transphobic by the Greens governing body. One example comment included, "Men are biological males and women are biological females," a position deemed by the Greens to be contrary to its stance that people are whatever gender they define themselves as, and trans rights are non-negotiable human rights. Although the party's Constitution and Arbitration Committee found that while Mr Hutton himself had not personally demeaned trans women, he provided a platform for others to do so by allowing these comments to remain. The second major reason was his criticism of what he called trans extremists within the Greens. He argued that an intolerant trans and queer cult had taken over key decision-making positions in the party, was attacking free speech, and had abandoned the historic mission of the Greens. Consequently, he was expelled. Founding member Bob Brown was against Mr Hutton's expulsion, telling The Guardian, "Any member may hold a view different from Greens policy. I'm against Drew Hutton's expulsion. As a friend of Drew's for 40 years, I respect his pivotal role in establishing the Queensland and Australian Greens and advocate that his membership be restored." Christine Milne also voiced her support for Mr Hutton, highlighting his critical role in flying the flag for the Queensland Greens for years. Larissa Waters, the current federal Greens leader, stated that the outcome of the appeal reflected good governance and sent the message that nobody is above the rules. She backed Mr Hutton's expulsion, reiterating that trans rights are human rights and insisting the move was backed by the party membership. In a social media post, Mr Hutton defended his position, saying, "I believe in full human rights for trans people at the same time as supporting the right of women to be safe from patriarchal oppression." Unfortunately, the Greens do not like people questioning their narrative. I'd just like to finish with one more quote from Mr Hutton, which I think is a good one. Are they going to be a dogmatic, authoritarian party that exerts all this top-down control over members? Or is it going to be the sort of party that people like Bob Brown and myself originally created with a historic mission to try to push the world to a more sustainable footing? Have the Greens lost their way? I think so.